Welcome back to Talking Shit, where we are talking all sorts of shit. Schitt's Creek, that is. I'm Jess Sterling, and today we are wrapping up the series of Schitt's Creek here on the podcast. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm joined by someone who, I don't know, is probably devastated that this is over. Stuart. Stuart, how are you?
The end is near, everyone. It's over. The world is ending. The world of this podcast, sadly, is ending. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad about this. This has been an amazing project. I was thinking about it recently. I was like, how many projects in my life have I taken on that I have committed to for over a year?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was thinking, like, there's been D&D campaigns, there's been those,
Yeah.
but like those just drag on. Like, this was a fixed schedule where we said on the 29th of October 2025 we'll record the last episode, and here we are.
Here we are.
Wild.
Yeah, we
And
stuck to it since February of 2024, so a year and a half and change, maths.
mhm.
And we did it. We made it. We made it all the way through. I mean, listen, I'm no stranger to signing on to podcasts that will last ages, because I cover 90s shows and there's a lot
Mhm.
of friggin' episodes. But this is probably one of my shorter projects, actually. But I still think it's really impressive that we not only knocked it out, we didn't miss a week, we stayed on schedule, we got through the entire series, and we had like the best time covering this show. I'm gonna really miss it. There's nothing like Schitt's Creek. There really isn't.
Yeah. Like, being able to cover such a joyous show and like have a point in the week that is dedicated to just at least half an hour just to sit down and watch such a joyous thing has been really nice. It's been a good kind of like, I guess, like cornerstone with my mental
Mhm.
health. I can totally understand why it became so important to everyone during COVID now. I really kind of get that perspective for it. So yeah, it's been really, really, really great.
Yeah. And
Oh,
we're gonna finish talking about the entirety of the series. We're gonna kind of wrap season 6 up and then kind of talk about the series as a whole. And of course, at the very end of this podcast, stay tuned for a little reveal of what we're doing next. And that, because but we're not stopping here, obviously. We're doing something else. You'll find out what it is later.
what?
I know.
Mhm.
So with that being said, let's jump in to our character breakdowns, and we're going to talk through a little bit of what these characters go through this season, and also obviously kind of where they end up by the end of the series, beginning with, as we always do, our patriarch Johnny Rose, who starts out the season. I feel like he really makes good on what he wants to do in the beginning of the season, where he's like
Mhm.
setting out to buy a second hotel. Then it ends up being kind of a money pit. They run into some struggles there. Stevie wants to pursue some other options in terms of a career. She leaves for a little bit. Johnny really holds down the fort during all of this, all while dealing with the stressor of David's wedding coming up and offering to pay for a lot of that. And then the big pitch and him succeeding, him kind of making this the next big empire for him is going to be in the motel industry. I really love the full circle of Johnny's story arc, not just for season 6, but just as a whole. I feel like it's
Mhm.
so satisfying to see something work out for Johnny because, Stuart, we talked a lot about just like there's so many times where Johnny just wants something to happen and it just kind of falls through. And we flash back to like our season 1 coverage, right? Like he just is so he bumbles a little bit. Like he really struggles. Everyone else seems to be like finally finding something and they're good at really pursuing some
Mhm.
passions, and he never really felt like that was the case for him up until he partners with Stevie on the motel.
Yeah, until he found his real calling, he was kind of lost. I mean, he had some endeavors. I mean, the whole renting of the desk in Bob's garage and like working out of there, that didn't work out. The milk endeavor, like there was always something that was going to go wrong
Mhm.
with it all, because he didn't pick the right business, which would have been Bob's Bagels. The answer was there early on, and he
Yeah.
didn't take it, and thusly he was punished for that until it eventually he had repented for that sin and then was given the opportunity to team up with Stevie with the motel, which was, I don't know, there's something about the fact that Johnny's the one that bought into the motel. Like, he's always been the one that buys into the idea of Schitt's Creek more than any of the rest of the
He
family.
literally bought
And
into Schitt's Creek before anyone else.
yeah, like, so I think it makes like total sense of him like doing it, like, because he does the purchase of like it as a joke, and then he ends up actually investing into it properly. I think it's like some great kind of narrative through line there with it. And so Johnny being the one to have this arc in the last season, I think is really great because if Johnny was already like flying high and just flew a little higher, I don't think it would have hit as much. But I think the risk of losing Stevie early on in this season, that was tough. Like, he was devastated by it. And the whole like, I think more so like I felt that devastation because I was like, Stevie, why are you making such a silly decision? Like, yeah, go see the world, do a bit of traveling, do whatever, but like, work on the business because the business seems to be going really well, and also stick around because I want to see you more in episodes. So I feel like he had to go through that hardship to have such a high that he has at the end, and to see that work out in such a way that, like, obviously the pitch goes well in a way that they didn't anticipate, and for all of his small little investments in things of like just good service and like way back in the day, that having that pay off and for it to almost be an acknowledgement of like Johnny is fundamentally a good guy and does deserve the success that he has, I think was a really great testament to the fact that he has been the heart and soul of the family in this town. I think it makes total sense. I think Johnny's had a stellar season. But as always, he often gets overlooked, which is really just sad.
Yeah, I mean, he's the straight man in the group usually, so I think it's easy to overlook him when you're watching a sitcom. But I
Mm,
love that he has just been this steady figure throughout all 6 seasons. And, we talk a lot about his relationship with Moira and just how lovely it is to get to watch them on screen together. And I really love that at the very end of the series, he's following her to California to pursue the Sunrise Bay reboot, but he's also going to be pursuing the motel business out there as well. I just think
mhm,
it's so perfect. And I think he ends up exactly where he should be, which is working on another business because he does have good business instincts. We saw that
mhm,
especially in the pitch. Um, it's just he needed to find a new avenue for it, right? Like, obviously video rentals really not a thing anymore anyway. So now he's finding something else that is like kind of retro and make something old new again. And
mhm,
I'm really happy about that. I just think he ends up in such a great place by the end of the series, especially he was the one who always felt like he was pushing for his family to be closer and trying to look on the bright side of, yeah, I know we're in this like podunk motel in this like small little town, but at least we're together as a family. And it feels
mhm.
like by the end of the series, the rest of the Roses have embraced that mentality. And so it just feels like they've come onto his side a little bit, which feels like a
Yeah,
win, for Johnny as a character.
yeah, completely. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he's got that win. Like,
Mhm.
it's kind of it's so weird to feel as so much joy for a character in the TV show, but like genuinely, like I sometimes find myself thinking about Schitt's Creek and the characters of Schitt's Creek, and I kind of feel really proud of them. Like, I sometimes
Yeah.
like think of Alexis and like, that's my girl. Like, she did it.
She
And like,
did
it's
it.
so dumb. She's a made
Yeah.
up like character,
She's
but
real in our
yeah,
hearts though.
she is. She
Uh
is.
Moving on to Moira, she has quite the interesting season with the Crows premiere happening, her getting some notoriety from that, and kind of using that to vault herself into some more opportunities. The Herbertlinger wine ad being one of them, some
Oh,
unfortunate shoddy voice work being the second one. But at the very least, this puts her more so in the public eye. So she does get the offer for the Sunrise Bay reboot, and thanks to some help from Alexis, is able to get what she deserves, is able to negotiate and win herself a really great contract, a nice little bracelet for herself, and a move to California, at least for the foreseeable future while the reboot films. I feel like they not only are her career aspirations coming to fruition, but she has never appreciated her family more than she does by the end of the series. And that feels like almost even more of a win for Moira, who spent the majority, if not all, of the series trying to leave Schitt's Creek, not wanting to be here, having had her fill of small town life when she was younger,
Mhm.
wanting to just be in the glitz and glam of everything, and really not embracing the opportunity to get to know her kids as much as someone like Johnny was. And I feel like she's kind of righted those wrongs, specifically with Alexis by the end of the series. Like
Hugely.
with
Yeah.
with the PR work that Alexis does for Moira, it feels like it really has brought them close together and made her appreciate Alexis more than she did prior, right? Like I think she recognizes the hard work that like Moira herself puts into her acting. She sees that in Alexis putting that into her PR work. So I don't know, Moira has a really great season.
Yeah. I think that Moira's success is coming with collaborations with the family. Certainly, I think help change her perspective on a lot of things. But yeah, you're completely right. Alexis is like kind of the almost like the key in this whole situation because throughout the entire show, we've had Moira basically crapping on Alexis in the way of like not knowing her middle name and not going to her graduation or not realizing that she wasn't at her own graduation. And had it not been for Alexis's PR work, the Crows thing might have gained a cult following, but it certainly wouldn't have gained mainstream attention with the way in which it was
Mhm.
spun. She certainly wouldn't have made a bit of a kind of like dipping her toe into the water of like kind of returning had she not done the convention and the fan signing thing. I used dip the toe in very kind of nice little pun there for that whole thing. But the I think had it not been for these small little steps and small little jobs that she kind of like set up, it wouldn't have. I don't know. I don't think she would have taken it as seriously as maybe she did, or maybe she would have approached it with less confidence, less assuredness of herself. Like I don't. I think Moira would have just taken the first offer to get out had it not been this. But had she not had the confidence to get it on her terms and to get a decent deal that's actually probably going to see it through, I and I can't see any of that happening had it not been for her getting help from Alexis, getting Johnny pushing her through, even back in the Herb Opening kind of vineyard like recording. Like she needs the family there as like these little side wheels. Like she needs the little training wheels on the bike. Like she can
Mhm.
ride fast, but she needs some stability occasionally from them. And they've really like helped her out. But in doing so, she's thrived. Getting the contract that she asked for, knowing that they had to reject it, was just wild. Getting the bracelet with just you win was just such a fist in the air moment. I was like, go on. And of course, like the premiere was a great moment. Great to see the dress again. But then I think of all the highlights for Moira, like, yeah, I can talk about like personal achievements and things like that. I mean, officiating your son's wedding and doing so well, looking as cool as you do, and then all of the stuff with the Jazza gals, and the fact that they are genuinely sad to see Moira go, I think is just like another high, like that goes on top of it. Because I don't want to like, exclusively just talk about like their successes in like business or work and things like that. It's like, no, I think like her other success is the way in which her mind has changed on the town, right?
Yeah, I think she's built up her career, but more importantly, she's built up relationships that she didn't have previously. Whereas, like, if you're at the top, who cares if you have no one to celebrate with, right?
Hmm.
Like, not that she didn't have anybody, but she had Johnny and I suppose her kids to an extent, but she didn't have the closeness that she now has with David and Alexis. And then the stability of also just having a group of friends like the Jazza Gals, like that she now has even more of a reason to go and visit David and Patrick, like, oh, I also get to see the Jazza Gals. And we've talked about like, oh, they'll do a Christmas album or, you can just see that she does love and care for these people.
Hmm.
So that is a huge change for Moira. She will always be self-interested, but
Hmm.
I feel like she has opened her heart to people in a way that she hadn't previously. And it's just so lovely. It's so lovely to see. Yeah, I love this for Moira. Uh, okay, should we move on to David Rose, who gets married?
Oh, David, who, thinking about it, other than the wedding, didn't do a lot of other stuff, but then the wedding was such a big plot point that it was like an all-consuming, I think, source of possibility of like silly storylines. I mean, think about it. We got like all of the prep, we got the maid of honor stuff, we got the bachelor party, for crying out loud. Like there was so much juice to that whole setup that it
Mhm.
feels like if you just say, "Oh, got married," it's like it's one thing, but actually it's a lot of other different things that like David has had to go through. And despite it turning out reasonably well, I will just say this show is a testament. This is why I will never get married. No, thank you. Too much stress for too long. Thank you very much.
I mean, you can just like get married and not have it be a huge affair. Like it's just David Rose was never going to get married and not have it be a huge affair. Uh but yeah,
Nah,
he
Patrick tried that. No, no, no. You need the wedding.
it is a big, obviously that's like the biggest thing he has happening this season. I also think like even though it does come in right at the end, like it's only a few episodes of dealing with this, his decision to stay in Schitt's Creek also feels like it looms pretty large over the season as a whole, of him making the decision to be like, screw New York. I don't need to live there. I don't need to prove anything to anybody at this point. Like as Stevie said, you won. Like there's no him kind of getting to that point where he has the self-confidence and the self-worth to not feel like he has to compete with these people who aren't even his friends, right? Like
Hmm.
none of them were coming to the wedding. None of them felt like checked in with him at all since he left the city. Um I love that. It feels like a huge growth moment for David. Obviously, the wedding being like the biggest thing, his love for Patrick, like their love story in general is just so wonderful. But the personal growth of him deciding I don't need to move to New York. And also, he has to break the news to Alexis. Like that also feels like a huge monster of like a I don't know, boundary to get over, a hurdle to cross, like
Hmm.
that he has to then break this news to Alexis that I'm sorry, I'm staying here. I'm not going anywhere. Uh and then missing out on where his family's going. All of these things feel like really big things for David, who is a little bit of a ball of anxiety, right? Like I can recognize that as someone who is also at times a ball of anxiety. Like he overthinks everything. So these
Hmm.
weren't easy conclusions to come to. And I want to just
No.
recognize that, like, my guy, like, he was going through it. His wedding almost got ruined. Like, it was a rough time for David, but he pushed through and it ended up being really great in the end.
Yeah, and props to Dan Levy. Like, yeah, of course, David had a big moment and was the star of the show in the last episode. And I would say even the penultimate, because I think that David had such a profound moment. But to take more of a supportive and comedic character like role in this series, and to allow the likes of Alexis to shine in the first half of it, when like obviously like she's dealing with the fallout of the whole like Ted situation and everything,
Mhm.
I feel like it's just a classy writer's move to do that. And also, I think doesn't mean that it became the David show. It was still the Roses, ultimately, that we kind of cared about. I feel like the spotlight was shared perfectly, um,
Mhm.
but was done so in a way to allow David to have this moment at the end to really show the profoundness of that moment. Like, Start Spreading the News is, I think it will always be the episode that rates me the most, because David, when he's like sobbing while sat on the car with Stevie, looking at the perfect holiday house,
Mhm.
I was just, oh, it was just that. I think everyone has been there with that feeling of you really want to show those people who, like, all the doubters, all the haters in your life that you've ever had, like anyone that has ever expressed negativity towards you. I think everyone has wanted to do the whole, well, screw you, look at how well I'm doing now kind of thing, or look how much I've grown, or look how wrong you were. And I think he wins because not only does he come to that kind of like eventual understanding that he doesn't have to express it, like he's won, like that's the
Mhm.
victory in itself, but he's got someone like Stevie there to articulate it to him as well. Like, he's found a best friend, let
Yeah.
alone he's found a husband who is going to be perfect for him, and he's got a business that's working for him, and his family have found success. Like, there's so many wins that David has, that David's only really come to recognize at the very end. And yeah, to do so is just profound. And again, just makes me really proud of him. I'm so proud of him.
Mhm. He did it. He did it. Good
He did
job,
it. He
David.
did it.
Uh, let's talk about Alexis because, oh god, she has the breakup with Ted fairly early in the season, and it is, we see her go through it, like go through the hardest breakup she's ever had, where it is circumstance. It is life gets in the way. The love was there, but life got in the way. The goals, their individual personal goals got in the way of them being together. But she really recovers, and not just recovers, but then thrives, right? If I'm not going to be with Ted, if I am going to pursue this career, I'm going to put my whole ass into it. And she does. She really pulls it off. She's getting job offers in New York. She is like
Hmm.
really, and this is all of her own volition, right? Like, yes, she thinks her family will be there too. She ultimately does make the decision to move to New York without her family, without financial stability. She refuses the money from Twyla. Like, these are all insanely massive things for the character of Alexis, who 0% chance she turns down any money offered to her in season 1. In fact,
Hmm.
she would probably be like, actually, Twy, can you just like, yeah, I can use a little bit of cash. So this is huge for Alexis. I really appreciate Alexis's story arc, and the fact that the show was willing to let Alexis and Ted not be together. Um, we all want the like, she got off the plane moment, right? Like, everybody wants that, but like that's not this show, and I'm very happy that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, yes, everyone wants that. I love me some sads.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for
I
it.
got off the
Anything that's gonna
plane.
make me, yeah, like, a happy cry like that is good now and then, but also like a good sad, like, oh, it doesn't work out, kind of like cry. It's just as good, if not better, sometimes. And I love the dedication to the realness of the situation. Like, we were saying, like, what with last week with the whole LGBT representation on the show and being quite virtuous. It's not virtuous in an unrealistic way. Like, it's not taking leaps beyond, like how people act kind of things. It's still grounded in realism. And I like this for having that same realism as well. It's like, not all relationships work out, but not all relationships have to end messy. They can
Mhm.
end in a healthy way. And you can have two grown-ups who just realize this isn't going to work out, and that we're going to be better off pursuing our own things, and we're going to be each other's biggest cheerleaders while we do it on the opposite sides of the world. And I think there's nothing more beautiful in that whole scenario than that. Like, the fact that it ends so amicably and well. And I don't think, like, I mean, I don't come away from it with a bitter taste in my mouth towards Ted. Ted's delightful. So's Alexis. I think the pair of them, yeah, they lost something, but they also won something as well.
Mhm.
And so I don't quite, I don't feel like Alexis has had a rough patch, except for that rebound. I mean, I'm gonna call that out. Oh, I could have skipped that, not gonna
Old
lie.
man.
Bit of realism
Lexi.
I didn't need.
Yuck. Gross. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She went through it. We've all made decisions. She didn't cut bangs, so props to her there. Like she could have
that
had
would have been a
bangs,
wild
Stuart.
story. Yeah, because then, oh my god, can you imagine if she did that and then she was like trying to steal Moira's wigs to hide it?
Yeah, could have seen that storyline happening. Yeah, we've
Ah!
all been there. We've all done we've made horrible decisions with our hair after a breakup. Like everyone has been there. She didn't do it. Props to her. And those are our roses. That's our rose family. I think we should talk through our season character rankings. Obviously, keeping in mind for people listening, this is not the series character rankings. This is just season 6.
Just 6.
Just 6 in a bottle.
Yeah.
We'll talk through kind of our least favorite characters, whatever, at some point in this podcast.
Mhm.
But yeah, let's do it. Are you gonna you have a visual
Yep.
for us?
So, as per usual, here we are with the season 6 character rankings board. He remembered to update the number again.
Mm-hmm.
So we have positions 1 all the way through to 13 from the cast members that we have picked. We're going to start off at the bottom as we always do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a contentious one. This has been awarded typically to the likes of Roland. We don't
Mm-hmm.
offer it out to, unlike the LVPs, we don't offer it out to people that are like come and go characters. This is main characters, like full names.
Right.
So at 13, it's nice to know that I think we're in alignment here, Jess, as poor Ray. Poor Ray gets 13, I think, for the second season in a row.
You know what? Either do more, Ray, or also don't be like a butthole when it comes to like filming a really tragic moment where they're like trying to plan this wedding and you're just filming that. Stop it, Ray. Stop it.
Mhm.
Okay? Like, stop.
Give up the mouse mats. Just send them away. Burn them.
Yeah.
Burn them, Ray. Yeah.
Yeah.
At 12, this is the really great thing because to let everyone in on a bit of insight to this, time zones this week have changed, and we record this an hour earlier than I would ordinarily record this, and I totally forgot to do mine. So I forget where I put everyone just before this. So it's going to be a surprise for you and me. But we'll go.
Incredible.
At 12, we've got... You've got Jocelyn.
I'm upset
And
with
I've
you
gone
for
Bob.
putting Bob. I feel like we're both upset
What
with
has
each other.
Bob done?
He's been Bob. What does he need to do? He's Bob.
How many jogs did you even get this season?
Oh, it's not many.
Maybe half a jog.
Maybe half a
Like,
jog.
if that.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. Jocelyn deserves so much better than 12th.
She didn't do anything. And when she did do things, I was annoyed with her.
I mean, fair.
What season did Bob wear the leather outfit in? Was it this season?
That was last season. Yeah, the breakup.
Wow, last
Wasn't it?
season. Okay. I don't remember.
feel
I
like-
don't know anymore.
Shocking.
I
Shocking
can't
behavior.
I can't figure anything out. Probably. It was probably
Gosh.
last season.
11th.
No, wasn't it because they needed the money for the new motel? Isn't it this season that they were going to try to get Bob to give them money?
Possibly. Oh, yes. Maybe
That
it was.
alone, he gets bumped up for the leather outfit.
Either way, I mean, he's still like he's my 12th, your 11th. Like,
Yeah,
it's
he's not
really
that much higher. Listen,
we
I try,
literally
Bob.
are
I try
equivalent.
this for you, Bob. Okay. I appreciate you, Bob. Yeah, he's 11th. I mean, he's still solid. He's rock solid, that Bob.
Oh, sadly. 10th. You've gone for Roland. I've
Mhm.
gone for Ronnie.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I felt justified in this, in that, again, similar to my argument with Bob. What did Ronnie do this season?
Nah, she had
Like,
some
I
great
feel like
moments, though.
Roland had a really big high this season.
He did.
And I'm going to
He did.
reward it.
Roland did have a very big high this season, but unfortunately, the high also came with like moments where he chewed with his mouth open multiple times. Like,
Yeah.
he also does stuff that I just hate. Whereas Ronnie, sometimes she just has these like one-liners that just set me off, and I love her. Like, I know
The florist.
is so good. Her like crying when Moira's leaving, like all of it, right? Like, I just
yeah.
love Ronnie. It's some of the bottom of this rankings is more vibes based than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like we are kind of like on the lower numbers, we kind of are really splitting hairs because I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's
There you
pretty much
go.
Stuart's is
See, there you go. For those who are just listening to the audio version, I have Ronnie at ninth and Stuart has Roland at ninth. So just
Yeah.
swap some places around, you know?
We're just swapping. I kind of the reason why I put Rowan just a bit higher is purely for the pitch. I
Yeah.
feel like it was such a nice moment to give him the ability to stand up for Johnny, much in the way that Johnny stood up for him with the Taylors back in the day. And like
Mm-hmm.
I remember like we've cited the Taylors in that instance so much. It seems to be like a really big formative thing of this show of like
Yeah.
how awful they were, but how great Johnny was in that moment. And I'm like, oh, those douchebags, those finance tech bro bastards were like so up there with the Taylors for me in terms of how deplorably awful they were.
Yeah.
That I if even if he is retrieving an empty briefcase, I'm gonna give Ronan his like flowers for that one moment
Yeah.
at the very least.
It's really fair. It's just he also does things that I just can't stand. So,
Hmm.
it is what it is. But yeah.
Yeah. At eighth, we've both got Ted.
Both got Ted. Here's the thing, I would love to put him
Oh,
higher. He's not around,
same.
and it's really hard to justify moving him any higher than this placement. I This was the one that you said with like, oh, Roland, he has like this big moment. Like the Alexis Ted breakup really earns him the highest spot, almost the highest spot, I would argue, of like the secondary sort of characters.
Hmm.
It's so impactful, but unfortunately, Ted is just not really around a ton.
Yeah, precisely my thinking as well. It's weird because I kind of thought that Ted was around a lot less than he actually was when I realized that like the breakup actually kind of really was mid-season. But then I remembered that actually wasn't around even while they were together. Like he wasn't in every single episode. Um, and also, as much as I will give them applause for the way in which they broke up and ending it amicably and like being kind of adults about it. I mean, he did fumble it. I mean, he fumbled Alexis. How dare you, Ted? Uh,
Yeah,
my boy
Ted.
fucked up.
Who cares about
um,
stupid Galapagos? We love Alexis here.
exactly.
Yeah.
In seventh,
Mhm.
both of us gone Twyla. And I think this
Yeah.
is the highest ranking of like really the secondaries now, and this is
Yes.
where it kind of like drifts in. I For obvious reasons, I think, right?
Yeah,
Tyler's
I
had a
mean,
stellar one.
she between the relationship with Alexis, the money, the fact that she's been, keeping the money a secret all these years, and that she finally like finds something she does want to spend it on. I think all of those moments has earned Twyla this spot. Especially, I feel like this is almost one of those like not posthumous awards, but like career Emmy awards where it's like, oh, they've been
Yes.
so good their entire life and now we're just giving them this award now. This has kind of felt like a culmination of everything lovely that Twyla has done throughout the series, that she be awarded seventh place, which is really just top of the second tier. If you think about it in that way, you know.
It sounds so shady when we go, yes, for your lifetime achievement, Tyler, you get seventh. But no, it is.
Yeah.
It's the top of like what is not main characters. Like Twyla is not in every single episode. She's not even if she is in an episode, she's never really the focal point of it. And so for her to have such an impact over this entire series, to be such a bundle of joy, to still have some complexity. Like Twyla's backstory is wild. Like all the stories and like her sharing in those kind of like wild stories with Alexis. I mean, of course, they end up building a friendship. And for her to
Mhm.
be such a pivotal point in Alexis's growth and being able to like fully demonstrate that towards the end, I feel is, yeah, more than deserving of
Yeah.
seventh. And this is where we get into the big leagues.
Mhm.
Sixth place now, as we really kind of decide this, both for Stevie.
I think this tracks.
I
I think Stevie's shining season was season 5. Like, I feel like
Hmm.
she fumbled a bit this season trying to figure out, I mean, we all do, right? Like, trying to figure out what she wants to do with her career. I don't think this was Stevie's season to shine in, really.
No. And it's difficult because it's like for the longest time, people were like more Stevie, and then we
Mhm.
got the Stevie season, and it was like, oh, perfect. Um, yeah, if Stevie was the main character and it had the show ended on season 5, perfect.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Stevie is not the main character. Stevie is a supportive character, and as such, I feel like this is bottom of the rankings of the top kind of ones. That's not to say that Stevie's like had a bad season. Like Stevie's had some really like great moments, but again, it was kind of reverting back to I think more of like a season 4 Stevie that
Mhm.
was kind of there. Even in the kind of like profound moments of like going out for like the job interviews, it was more for comedic effect than the actual kind of, the emotionality of it all. And so, yeah, Phoebe didn't really stand out as much, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but, like, and again, she still ends up finding her way. It's just when you're comparing her to the other characters that we have in the top 5, uh, she has to be
Yeah.
6th.
Speaking of which, at number 5. Oh, we got a disagreement
We have a
here.
disagreement. I have Moira, you have Johnny. I do think this was a tough one for me. The top 5, I think, altogether was very hard to place. Um, I think Moira has an incredible season. I think especially where she ends up is really admirable. I just also think that a lot of where she ends up, I mean, no one can do it alone, but I feel like Moira has a lot of help getting to
Hmm.
where she is, right? Like Alexis does so much for Moira's career and gets her a lot of opportunity, gives her a lot of really solid advice. Johnny being kind of this foundation that Moira, the safety net, Moira can always kind of fall back on. She does eventually get to the place where she has a really incredible relationship with her kids. I do just think she is not always the catalyst for that. I do think sometimes she is more passive in that way. So I think the other 4 characters I have above her have more and of an active role in pushing them forward, if that makes sense, and maybe slightly less help. So I don't know. Again, it's really picking nits when you get to this point in the character rankings, but that's why I had Moira at 5th.
Curious. I think for me, it is difficult to really separate Moira and Johnny. I think both of them for me are at the same level. If I'm entirely honest, doing this moments before we hit record, I may have put Johnny in 5th just to wind up Will.
Truly a
Because
monster.
I am a troll.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
honestly, like, you could put Moira here for me. Like I wouldn't kind of quibble. I think the only reason why I have put Johnny there is because I attribute and falsely I attribute the pitch to Roland being a big win when really it should be considered Johnny's because of the whole. I mean, it's Johnny that does win it. Like it's not Roland
Yeah.
telling them off that wins it for them. It's what Johnny invested in early and stuff. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, Moira had some really iconic moments, like that the outfit and the wedding alone.
Mhm.
Her having the emotional growth and really delivering when I'd been so skeptical of Moira's journey in this last season, and her finally getting there in the penultimate, I was like, it broke me so much, and so I kind of feel like it could be either or. But the wind swept, no, swung, no, blew. That's the one. Blew in a direction of me being a troll. So that's why I'm going to say
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Which probably explains why at 4th we've just swapped them over. You've got
Again,
Johnny and I've got
yeah.
Moira.
Yeah, I think Johnny edged out Moira for me because of, like you said, I feel like this was he had put the wheels in motion since the beginning of the series, and, like, specifically this season is when Johnny popped off. I feel like he really made things happen. he was the one who was pushing and pushing and pushing. He also let Stevie go explore a different career without pushing her too much to come back. I just think he had a really, really solid season. And the fact that he is then following Moira to California, right? Like very selfless. And I want to like
Hmm.
reward those sort of selfless actions that Johnny takes. So I just I really love Johnny this season. I think he's earned his spot in fourth for me.
Yeah. Now, top three. Here's where it gets super, super serious. And I do remember who I
Yeah.
put as my top three, so this will not come as
Okay.
a surprise. So I won't be shocked to say that in third place, we both have Patrick Brewer.
Knew this would happen. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the highest position he could have earned for someone who really wasn't around in the last season as much as I thought he would be. I thought he would be a
Yeah.
much bigger presence, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to like, justify his spot here in terms of him having like solo storylines that don't have to do with David or the wedding or, whatever. But I just love Patrick. He's such a solid character. And I think he is very much a Johnny when it comes to like he is the foundation that David can
Mhm.
fall back on. Like he is building up, right? Like we don't have to talk about like the unfortunate like bedwetting storyline, but like and the
Ugh.
whole like it getting out because Moira's doing social media, right? Like, but he is behind the scenes always trying to help David. And he's the one who's like, oh, the wedding is like gonna be a mess because of the storm, and he's the one who's like going out, getting David a massage. Like he's just so solid. And I love Patrick. I love his vows. Like I think he definitely got bumped up because of just like the sentimentality and how much I adore Patrick and David as a couple. I'm biased. I love Patrick. Like it was hard for me to put him anywhere lower than third because like I can't justify him being one or two this season, but like I can't put him any lower. It would physically pain me.
Yeah. I completely agree. No notes.
Mhm.
No notes whatsoever. So we get to first and second. Um, Ordinarily, I might reveal both at the same time because, like, then it kind of reveals it. But let's go second because I think that will be quite indulgent. We both
Yeah.
got Alexis.
I
We agree for once, Jess.
I am stunned. I am absolutely flabbergasted. I truly was like, I know he's gonna put Alexis number one. Like, it's fine. And again, we're splitting hairs. Like, either David
Yeah.
or Alexis could earn this top spot.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I'm curious to know if the reason you didn't have Alexis at number one is because of the rebound storyline, or was there another reason that you think David maybe edged it out over her? You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, the rebound storyline did affect things a little bit. But
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that that was really the needle mover for me. I think what did it for me was just that Alexis, I feel, has had such a slower burn when it comes to like her growth. Like she has been like going to study and off her own back. Like I feel like she's really kind of like we've seen this growth from Alexis over a long period of time. David, on the other hand, has a revelationary moment almost at the end with that conversation with Stevie. And I feel like the the difference is that is like I've been giving I think Alexis has been my top for like the last few seasons now.
Yeah.
And I think it's because she has had those kind of like that long growth. And I've always put David behind because I've never really felt that David has had as much of those moments. And David has often been a bit more of a supportive comedic kind of like butt of the joke character. And I don't know, there was just something so affecting with the whole "you've won" conversation that I feel like, yeah, he did. And I get we'll talk more on David when it's like his bit, but for Alexis, I feel like she didn't. I mean, she had like a great breakup and had a really profound story there. But again, towards the end of the season, kind of stepped back a little bit. and that's just the nature of sharing the spotlight amongst like a very talented cast, and it being four main characters as opposed to one main character, is that has to happen. And I feel like this wasn't necessarily her time to step forth and take the rightful point of being first in
Mhm.
place, for me at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I definitely can see that. I think like what has earned her spot in second certainly was like her popping off with the PR stuff. I think her
Mhm.
helping Moira realize Moira's worth when it comes to Sunrise Bay is a huge like gold star for Alexis. And then, she gets the 1-2 punch of deciding to move to New York on her own and refusing the money from Twyla. I think those are like massive, massive points in Alexis's favor. But I do agree. I think what David was building to and the realization of this is his home now, he has nothing to prove to anyone, feels like it has been a series long kind of revelation, growth for David to get there. And it felt, I don't know, it felt like bigger in a way because we've seen Alexis get to this point, right? It's been a slow build. Like last season, I think was one of the ones where we were like, the dedication to her career is so impressive. And I feel like we really
Mhm.
did reward that last season. And this season, while it's very impressive what she's doing, it does feel like she's continuing on that journey versus David. It's
Yes.
very much like this is a huge moment for him to kind of have this
Mhm.
realization. And he's getting married and all these other things, right? Like it feels like more personal growth for David, and more career growth for Alexis, though obviously the New York thing is very personal to her. Is really again like very much splicing. Like it's so close, but I just felt like David really earned his spot at the top here.
Yeah. Top David for both. I
Yay.
completely agree. Like David has had such a kind of like big moment. And we talk about the family coming to love Schitt's Creek. David chose it. Like David chose to stay, which I think is the most profound thing of the whole family. Like the three of them end up leaving, but David's the one that stays, and I think that has to be spoken about because there's something to say. Oh, we spent time here, and I have affection for it. It's another to say I'm going to make this my home. I think that is like actions speak louder than words. And it's not to say that like their words are meaningless. Like I feel like those emotions are real, but I think it's an entirely different thing to say I'm going to live here forever when the opportunity to live in New York, likely live in a bit of luxury with a bit of money from like Alexis's like job that's going to take off, or at least like, I don't know, like chasing just more of that kind of like lifestyle again. It's just I don't know. I feel like David's choice is just bigger in this in that moment, and I have to reward it. I mean, also Duke got married to Patrick Brewer. Like I penalized Ted for fumbling Alexis. Well done for nailing down Patrick and like putting a ring on that.
I
Like,
know. It's like, how was he still
mhm.
single? Truly, that eligible of a bachelor.
Wild.
The fact
Yeah.
that, like, man, lock that guy down. Have you seen the dunk on him? Just saying. And he got that man
Punk
to
with a
like
K.
find a he got that man to find a house for him. Like, good God.
The
Yeah,
one from the holiday.
it's
Like, it
so
looks like
cute.
the
It's
one.
so I want to die. It's so adorable. Yeah, David really I do think like it's a very difficult choice that he has to make. And it is very selfless. We talk about Johnny being extremely selfless, but David is being very selfless in giving up a city that he feels more comfortable in terms of like, I think in terms of the culture and the fashion and the like, he doesn't look like an outsider in the same way that he kind of looks like an outsider in Schitt's Creek. Now, Schitt's Creek has come to be his home, but I do think there is like an aspect of New York, probably not the people, but the actual city itself that really suits David. He's giving that up for Patrick because he doesn't want Patrick to live somewhere he doesn't want to live.
Mhm.
So that's super admirable. Like it's I mean, for a character like David especially, that feels like massive, right? That he is thinking of someone other than himself is huge. So huge growth moment for David. I'm so happy you have him at your top as well, because I was like, I know he's gonna have Alexis there and I'm gonna have to fight him on it. It's fine.
You and your political voting, Jess. You gotta cut this shit
No,
out.
I wanted David at the top no matter what. I just thought you would have Alexis there.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased that you also have David at the top.
Yeah.
Well, let me reveal. Let's talk through who actually got the most points this season. Do you
Wild.
have any guesses as to who ended up at the top of the leaderboard for this season?
This is tough because I feel like we've been more liberal with assigning LVP points to people, even for the smallest slight, because it's been so tough.
Mhm.
So I feel like that might. It's terrible that I'm asking this 6 seasons in. Do LVP points affect MVP points? They don't, do they?
Yes. Yeah, they
They
do.
do.
It's
Oh
all
crap!
cumulative.
Oh gosh. So let's. Who would we have really rewarded? Maybe Alexis. I feel like because I'm always really generous with Alexis. Like I think that I have to give
Mhm.
her my MVP points.
Yeah, the winner is Alexis.
Yes.
In second place is of course Patrick.
Hey, a
Unsurprising, I
donk
think.
will get you far, but it won't get
And
you first.
the funny thing is like Patrick really was like, he's getting 1 point, 1 point. I'm like, this is probably me. I don't know. I didn't go back through the documents to look, but it's always 1 point.
Hmm.
So I'm like, well, it's probably me doing it. So yeah, Patrick came in second this season. Alexis, though, reigned supreme. As for who was the disgruntled pelican of the season, do you have any guesses?
Oh, I don't know. Like, been down on Moira a few times, I feel. Um, who else? I mean, Roland is obviously the
Always.
candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been trying to like avoid giving it to Roland where I can because I mean I'm an agent of chaos and also he does make me laugh. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think we can overcome Roland just being Roland. So I'm gonna say Roland.
It actually wasn't Roland. He's not even in second. He came in third.
What?
Tied for third
Two
most.
people beat Roland.
Mhm. Mhm.
Who?
The first one I think is not going to come as a huge surprise, and only so Roland had -3 overall.
Okay.
This
Okay.
person has -4, and is Jocelyn.
No.
The only
Yes, when
time
they get us a bad review.
she got -2 twice. She never got any good points. She only got negatives, and it was twice.
Was
The
that the
other
presidential
person, which
suite?
is like hysterical and wild to think about this, the disgruntled pelican of season 6 is actually David Rose.
Are you
So
fucking serious?
I am dead serious right now. He in the job interview -2, the presidential suite
Oh,
-3,
deserved.
sunrise
Deserved.
sunset -1, the pitch
Deserved.
-1, and he only got plus points in start spreading the news where he got 2 points.
That is outrageous,
It's so funny.
but
That's never happened,
hilarious.
but really funny. Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
really
we
incredible.
so we rank him as the best character of the
Yeah.
season. He's actually the worst.
Yeah.
Hey,
Listen, our fucking
data
podcast.
over. Yeah, exactly. It's our podcast. Deal with it.
We'll
What are
do
you gonna
whatever we
do?
want.
You're gonna complain? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Cancel
Yeah, what are
us?
you gonna
Yeah,
do?
we're not doing
Unsubscribe?
another one.
What are you gonna do?
Ruined.
Don't unsubscribe though. Don't do it. But I want to talk about the series totals and averages here.
What? You've
Um,
done the series?
so I did the
Oh
series.
my
I was
gosh.
curious. So I wanted to see who the overall top point getters were. And again, this is cumulative. So it's like your minuses and your pluses, it's all maths, it's all
Okay.
smushing together. I'm not a
I feel like
mathematician. I'm not a
I'm glad we got that on
statistician.
record. I'm glad we got that on record, Jess. I thought that we maybe might have been like a bit confused when you suggested that 2/3 was half the way through or whatever it was.
Listen, I don't like math. I didn't go to school for math. I went for English, okay? A degree in which I definitely don't use now, but that's fine. It was basically free. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel like the LVP's probably easier to guess. Would I be wrong in that assertion?
No, very easy.
Roland.
Roland by a mile, by a country mile, by a, I don't know, what do you measure by over there? By a whole fucking lot.
There's a phrase I like, a metric fuck ton.
A metric fuck ton. I don't know what an acre is over there. So like a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
He ended the season. So this is cumulative. So minus 41.5.
Roland, sort yourself out, mate.
The next lowest person was Mutt with minus 9.
Like father, like son. Like father, like son. That's I was about to say that's outrageous. It's not. It's totally expected.
It's right on. It's right
Mutt,
on.
fully deserved. Roland, fully deserved, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's bounce back to the top here. Do you have any guesses for, like, let's say the top 3 or 4 if you wanna guess?
Oh gosh. I mean, I feel like I was gonna say the main family, but I think take Johnny out of that because I was very down on him early on. Or maybe take Moira out because Moira has some really outrageous moments. No, take David out. He got the LV.
It's the main 4, but remove 3 of the 4.
Okay, so Alexis is up there.
Okay.
Stevie should be up there. Patrick should be up there.
Okay.
Third? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming in 4th was David Rose.
Okay. I'm happy with that.
In 3rd, Moira Rose.
Okay. Surprised.
2nd, Patrick Brewer. And
yeah.
number 1, far and away, mostly due to this season, Alexis.
Yeah. Poor
So
Johnny.
Alexis ended with 33 points, Patrick with 22, Moira 19, David 16. Below that was Stevie with 13, Ted with 7, Johnny with 4. So Johnny is quite a ways down. Don't tell my husband. He's not listening.
Sucks to be Johnny.
It's fine. The thing is Alexis got a lot of points when we were doing the like 3-2-1 situation at the end. So she really benefited
we really
from
cooked
that.
The books at the end, didn't
She really did, yeah. Because she got 9 points in the final 2 episodes. Like, it's a lot.
Hey, deserved.
So if you take that, she's more on par with Patrick if you forget that part. So yeah, I mean, I do think this is pretty indicative of like Alexis's final 2 seasons. I think like the fact that Patrick is also nearly even with Alexis and he came into the show midway through season 3 is also fairly remarkable. Like, that just proves how much we adore him, that he was able to catch up in that way.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's that. That's the maths, everyone.
That's the maths. I can't believe that.
They say.
I love that you've worked out the whole, like, the full series. And the Roland is that bad.
He's so bad. He's so bad. I also did average instead of cumulative, but it's so decimal heavy that I feel like it's less exciting. The most interesting information to glean from the averages is that Alexis and Patrick actually tie with 5.50, which I think is fascinating. I took the average of every season.
Don't like that. Alexis needs to just. I give her another point.
I don't like it.
It's our podcast. Fuck it.
Anyway, so that's some fun anecdotal maths. Let's talk about our season rankings because previously we were in agreement. It went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I feel like it was pretty easy for us. Now, I thought it'd be interesting to pull up the actual tier rankings that we had for each season, because I do think they're fairly indicative actually of how we truly feel.
She's
So
got
if you're
the
watching us
seats
on
back.
YouTube, season 1, I feel like was a little rough, right? Like most of so we have 6 of the episodes are in Love That Journey for me, but we did have an episode that was shit out of luck and 3 you Davids.
That's what we didn't have a single hot shit.
No hot shits from the first season.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, makes sense that it was the bottom of our list. Yeah.
Good on us not to like set the bar too high.
Yeah. And then in came
looking at
season
it-
2,
See-
where
and then we gave up.
we're like, okay, we love everything. Yeah, we had 5 Love That Journeys for me, 5 full bouquets, and 3 hot shits. So like very
Yeah.
top heavy. You know, there's a lot. There's still
I
very
think we could be a
average.
bit more brutal with these rankings. I think we could drop a few down.
No, we're not doing that now. We're done.
Yeah.
And then in comes season 3, which we actually were a little harsher on. Like, interestingly, we have season 3 above season 2, but we were fairly harsh on this one.
Sebastian Rain deserves to be there, though. Like, that can stay in you, David. Yeah, that was deserved. Fully deserved. Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, I think that's a good spread. Because, I mean, like, all the ones that are in Hot Shit, I think make sense being in Hot Shit. I mean, you've got, like, what was it, Grad Night, new car. Oh, my God. Just thinking about the podcast record to that, I remember it being as unhinged as it was. The episode itself. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Great.
6,000 quid, love.
So yeah, but not shit out of luck.
6,000 quid, love.
I had to mention it, didn't I? Garage.
Excited beyond compare. Yes, especially with this being our first ever purchase of an automobile.
I need to take that away from you. I need to take it away from you.
Excited beyond compare. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, season 3, I think this is also where Patrick is introduced, so I think that tracks.
Yeah.
In comes season 4, which like a lot of full bouquets. We have 8 episodes were in full bouquet, 3 in Hot Shit, 1 in Love That Journey for me, and 1 in You David. So like season 4 was popping off.
Wow, only 1 in You David. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm that makes sense.
In comes in season 5, where we're like 7 hot shit episodes.
It was a really good season. Life was a banger.
It was really good.
God,
And
Life's a
that's the
Cabaret.
thing.
I think should be the tier in its own. I will keep extolling that.
Yeah.
So it should be dragged higher.
And then, very interestingly, so that's where we left off, right? Season 5 is currently our top ranked season. In comes season 6, which also has 7 hot shits, has no You Davids. And yeah, I mean, like, look at literally, it's like you took the You David and you moved it up to Love That Journey for me, and they're mirror images of each other.
That's wild.
Because the entire time, Stuart, you were saying, why does everybody keep saying it gets better and better? I think season 5 is probably better than 6, but not according to our rankings.
I wonder if I've been too nice though, because like I'm okay. To be fair, Rebound could be ranked lower.
Sure.
But
even still, if Rebound is in You David, then it's identical. It's literally identical then.
Which is crazy because I had this real perception that 6 was great, don't get me wrong, but just wasn't quite to 5 standard.
Right. So I guess the question ends up being
skew things a little bit when you think about it, yeah.
Yeah, it really begs the question of like, okay, how much do you love the finale and the penultimate episode? Because those are, in my opinion, are the standouts of the season. Because you're comparing them to episodes from season 5, like Life is a Cabaret, The Hike, which is the one where David and Patrick get engaged, The Hospies, which has like a little bit of Alexis moment in it, the housewarming party.
Yeah,
like,
has them, yeah.
Yeah, true. There are just some really stellar season 5 moments. So we've come to a very difficult decision, Stuart, and that is, where does season 6 fall in our season rankings?
Do we have to agree?
No, of course not.
Good. I think, despite being shown clear evidence that I should not judge it this way, I'm going to put season 6 in second. Because for
Okay.
me, I think the lead up to Cabaret was just perfect. Like, every time that they danced or sang, I was grinning from ear to ear. And Stevie's story was like really brought me so much joy. And that's not to say that 6 didn't bring me joy, but I don't know. It just, I don't know. Maybe I just feel like 5 was just slightly better for me.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I think again, and this is like splitting hairs. I'm gonna put season 6 in first because I think season 6 is better when you consider every character's storyline. Like, even if I really enjoy like the Stevie Cabaret stuff of season 5, I think that almost every other character, every Rose at the very least, gets really lovely things to do in season 6. But I do think it is splitting hairs. Like, they are so close. They're both really excellent seasons. I think season 6 just has such a strong finish. A happy ending, if you
that
will.
really does go into its favor. It does make it really tough. And I think possibly there is an aspect of me having, like, what's the opposite of recency bias, of like almost like wanting to be a bit harsher
Nostalgia.
to go well, no, I was thinking like of going against the recency bias, of being like, well, 6 has just happened, I'm going to be really high on it, so I should judge it a little harsher.
Yeah.
When actually, no, maybe it is, looking at the data, it is justified in being as good as it is. But yeah, I think, I don't know, I just keep putting it down to like iconic things, and I just think wedding Moira, the outfit, the emotionality of it all, and obviously closing everyone's story. But then I just think of Cabaret, and I loved it so much. So, yeah.
That's fair. That's the thing. I think it's very difficult. I think they're so close. They're so close. That's ultimately where we're gonna land. So you have 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, splitting hairs. They're very, very close. Let's start
Yes.
through the predictions that you had made at the end of last.
Oh, do we have to?
We have
have
to. You did predict David and Patrick will get married. Very
Shock.
easy prediction. It did come true. You also predicted Gwen will lose a hand. Didn't happen, unfortunately, for everyone.
No, wasn't confirmed. You can't say it didn't happen. It wasn't confirmed.
Because we didn't see a two-handed Gwen. 10 Alexis breakup. That was correct.
Yeah. Writing was on the wall.
Kickstarter for The Crows Have Eyes, and Alexis takes on marketing for it. Alexis did take on marketing. There wasn't a Kickstarter, but you did say it will become a cult classic, which I do think is fair. I mean, the PR stunt is probably what drew people to it. However, I do think it did kind of become a bit of a hit.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah.
Big buyout of Motel and make loads of money.
I don't know why I thought of that.
Basically opposite of that. They're buying more motels.
Yeah, exactly.
The family chooses Schitt's Creek. Johnny and Moira take the money and run. So, a little half-half. Somewhat, kind of, sort of.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite there.
Stevie leaves. She's scouted from Cabaret, and an agent signs her. Moira coaches her for an audition.
That was a bit, I was very high on Cabaret.
Oh, yeah, you were like, Cabaret all the way, baby. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, no.
And then Bob and Gwen get a divorce, which,
again, not confirmed.
Not confirmed, but I mean, they were on their way there. You know.
They're on their way there. Although he is still saving her a parking space, just in case.
He is.
Bless.
Poor Bob. So those were your predictions and the results. Very fun. I'm still never gonna get over people losing hands as being predictions. So yeah, it's great. Should we get into our feedback that we got?
Yeah. We put out the call and got a fair amount. Regular feedback or video feedback first?
I think we should do the video feedback first.
Amazing. Well, speaking of someone that I predicted may lose a hand, we got some feedback.
Jess, hi, podcast listeners. It's Gwen from Schitt's Creek. I got a message from Stuart. Oops, my battery's getting low. I better plug in. Anyway, I got a
Icon.
message from
Bless
Stuart
her.
that your podcast after about a year is ending. I'm sorry to hear that. It's been quite a while since Schitt's Creek's been on the air, although it is on the air still, but not on a regular weekly basis. I was hoping
Yeah.
that they would come up with something, and maybe they will.
Aw.
I know there was talk about maybe a movie,
6
but I
seasons and a
haven't heard
movie.
any more since that was when Schitt's Creek was ending. It was a lot of fun to do Schitt's Creek. I wish I was able to do it again. We had a
love
good
her.
time. They were all great to work with, every one of them. David, he had quite a responsibility because he was the writer for the first couple of years for sure. And then I think he
Just
got
the
some
first
assistance
couple, though.
after that, maybe. But he was directing, not directly directing, but he was in there with the directors, directing
I
with
love
the
it.
directors and writing and overseeing and acting. So he had a lot on his plate. So I'm pretty sure he was, focused. Where the rest of us were just, well, me especially. I'm just kind of, okay, whatever.
She's woo.
But I had a lot of fun.
Oh my God, I
I
love
really
her
did.
so
They were
much.
a great bunch of people to work with, as you can well imagine. I'm sorry your podcast is ending, but things come to an end. They just do. And
They
same with
just
Schitt's
do.
Creek came to an end.
Just like Gwen and Bob's marriage.
I don't know where it'll go from there, but maybe nowhere, maybe somewhere. I love every single one of you people that like Schitt's Creek or love Schitt's Creek and listen to Schitt's Creek, watch Schitt's Creek. I have a friend, her and her husband watch it every day. She says, I see you every day.
That's
I
so
don't care if
wild.
I see you on the weekends or whatever, because I see you every day. She's funny.
Oh my God, what?
And as I was saying, I love you all, everyone who watched Schitt's Creek, everyone who thinks about watching Schitt's Creek, and everyone who's made special efforts to keep Schitt's Creek alive. It's been fun, and I'm sure you've had fun doing your podcast, and there's lots of people I'm sure that have tuned into yours. Again, love you all. Goodbye.
How sweet.
What a
is
gem.
she?
What a peach.
Marilyn Belfontaine. On Cameo. Go through her, Dollar. Like, she's lovely. I will say though, that was a whole 2 minutes longer.
How many more
Bless
times
her.
did she say Schitt's Creek, though? How many more times did she say the
so
name of it?
many times. But
I love
yeah,
her so much. What an icon.
I was in a giddy moment on Cameo, submitted that and totally forgot about it. A couple of days later, I get an email. This has come through, and I cackled myself so much.
I love her.
So funny.
Oh, so good. So good. Okay, let's Kim sent in a 5-star review. So that's incredible. We're gonna read it, obviously, as I am legally obligated to do. Kim says, whether you're watching Schitt's Creek for the first time or a longtime fan, there's something for everyone with this podcast. Jess and Stuart are so entertaining with their witty banter, great laughs, and their appreciation for the show. I'm sad to see this podcast come to an end, but as I introduce more friends to this show, I will also recommend following along with Jess and Stuart for lots of fun along the way. Side note, I hope you do cover Parks and Rec because I haven't seen that one all the way through, and I would love to follow along with you both. We'll definitely keep my eyes open for what you two do next. Thanks and best wishes to you both, Kim.
Amazing. That's so nice.
So lovely. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you
and
for
we do-
wielding your 5-star review power with some grace and
I
not
know.
willing just to say something, I don't know, poopy or
I also even got to be the first one in Jess and Stuart. So like not only was she so graceful with her words, but like I got to be named first, which is very exciting.
alphabetical. You're on the left, I'm on the right. Like it's how it is.
Or maybe it's
There's a
just in order of who
percentage-
she likes most. That could be it too.
Yeah, doubtful. There's a presenting duo called Ant and Dec in the UK, and they always have to stand like Ant on the left, Dec on the
Uh-huh.
right, because it's like otherwise you can't have Dec and Ant. It just wouldn't work.
No, that
Is
sounds
that what
weird.
it
Yeah.
is? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
So we're Jess and Schitt. That's just the order of it.
Maybe. Um, we also got a message from Jen. Dear Jess and Stuart, thank you for taking us along on this delightful journey. It has been such a treat to listen to you every week. You've brought some light to some heavy times. You two are an amazing hosting team, and I so hope you will continue working together. I cannot wait to hear what you'll be up to next. Warmest regards and best wishes, Jen.
Lovely.
Nice. I
I
know
mean, you
all of
will.
you. Everyone's too
You will.
nice. You will hear
Yeah,
what we're up to next.
yeah, you will. But yeah, too nice. We don't deserve nice listeners.
We really don't. Nick says my only feedback is thanks for the podcast. It's been great. Short, sweet, to the
Wonderful.
point. We love it.
Love it.
Ashley wanted me to tier rank all the Bob jogs. Here's the thing. I feel like any Bob jog in which he claps at the end is automatically hot shit. Like it shoots to the top. I
We
think
determined though it's not a Bob jog unless he claps. So they're
no,
all
because
top
sometimes
tier
he just
then.
jogs. And the other thing is the one where he jogs in leather is also hot shit. And the one where he turns around, he does the little jog and he does like the menacing stare when he's auditioning for cabaret. That
Yeah.
one is also hot shit. Everything else is either love that journey for me or what's the one after that? What's the one above that? I should know
Hot
this.
shit.
No, hot shit's the top one.
Hot shit.
Love that journey for me is middle.
Full bouquet.
Full bouquet. Okay, so most of them are full bouquet or love that journey for me, but the best, the ones I already listed are hot shit. There you go.
Wow.
I thought about this. I did think about this actually quite a bit. Yeah, that's where I land. Too much, probably too much. Will wants to know what's your favorite Johnny moment.
Oh God. What is my favorite Johnny moment? Telling the Taylors off. 100%. Like I want to choose a funny moment, but
100%.
that's the moment. Like
Mhm.
when he goes and it's called Schitt's Creek. Oh, Johnny, badass.
It's so
Such
good.
a good delivery.
It is very good. Yeah, that I think that might be the best one. It feels like probably the best Johnny moment. Yeah. I don't know that there's a better one than that. I mean, the whole pitch is really incredible too.
Yeah. No,
so-
actually, I think another really good Johnny moment. Eating the egg sandwich while Moira's singing, "Oh, Danny boy," because the timing of when he just waits and then eats
Takes a
when she
bite.
starts singing it, so funny.
One of the other good ones is when Stevie gets blown off by Amir and he like gives her like a hug and like a kiss on the forehead or whatever. Very sweet, very touching. Loved it.
Yeah.
Also, Will also wants to know, knowing the whole story, which character would win Survivor Schitt's Creek?
Okay, so for anyone not in like the tall grass of Survivor fandom, of which I have been immersed in these last few years, there's a thing called Brand Steel where you can simulate Survivor seasons, and I did one earlier. As I understand, Will did as well, but we're going to disregard Will's one because Bob won that one.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's fantastic.
In my one, Alexis won.
Oh,
which I thought was quite interesting. And at the final two, it was Alexis and Moira. I will say, Final Tribal Council was freaking wild. Ray was in there with Mutt as well. Mutt got to final three. Crazy. But yeah, if we were actually playing Survivor, how can anyone but Patrick win?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said Patrick beats literally anyone. He beats everyone.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end. He wins.
Exactly. Unless someone like, Cerise him out, like, and it's like, no, if he gets to the final jury, he'll win regardless. But like, if he makes out Final Tribal Council, I mean, give him the money.
Yeah, that's it. He wins. I fully agree.
Mm-hmm.
We also got a couple comments on our YouTube channel. Gosh, Denothe. Sometimes there's numbers in the words, and then I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but that's maybe the name. Love this series so much. Thank you guys for putting so much time and care into this well-loved and special show that many of us hold dear. And Joyful Bloom Coaching said, I love following you both on this journey. Thanks, Jess, for sharing tidbits from the book. It's on my wish list. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of Schitt's Creek, because there are some really fun stuff there, and a lot of like really lovely fan art that I liked looking at as well. So
Yeah, I need to check that out.
Yeah, and that's it. That's everything. That's all the feedback. That's the whole thing.
We're done.
We're done. That's it. We're bye.
Ah,
That's it. That's the whole thing.
what do we do?
Yeah. I think we announce what we're doing next. I think that's what we do.
That'd be a good idea, I guess.
I think
Let
so.
people know what's coming up.
Probably should do
What
that.
do we have coming up? What are we doing? Do
Am I
I
saying
know?
it? You know. Am I
Do
saying it?
you want to say it? Do you want to say it?
I don't know. Now I'm nervous.
We haven't organized this. We haven't planned anything. There's nothing
didn't
on the
play-
document, Jess.
No, not in the document. No. We are going to continue podcasting. We're going to come out with a podcast next week. Will then be every other week moving forward from there, because we're going to be changing things up, and we're going to be covering movies.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought?
Not me.
Movies.
Not me. Me
What?
covering movies? I watch movies? Yeah.
But what kind of movies, Jess?
That's the thing. We're starting a new venture. We're going to stay in this feed, so you can stay here. You don't need to go anywhere. Don't move. Don't unsubscribe. Just stick right here. Everything will just flow right into the podcast feed for you. You might notice some art change because we're renaming it. Obviously, we can't be talking shit forever. We're not talking shit anymore. We're always talking shit, but not that shit. The new name. Do you want to say the new name? You say the new name.
Because I say it with a weird cadence sometimes that really throws me off.
Fine. The podcast title is You Had Me at Podcast. And we are going to be covering romantic comedies going through the decades, starting with the 80s. We're each going to pick a movie. Every other week we'll come back. We'll talk about the movie. We'll talk about kind of the premise is that Stuart is the cynic. I'm more of the hopeless romantic. I'm not exactly in my real life a hopeless romantic, but when it comes to rom-coms, I do think I am a bit more of a hopeless romantic. Yeah. So that's kind of the premise.
If you were a fan of our somewhat heated argument quite a number of episodes ago about, was it How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Yes, it was.
Effectively, that's the podcast.
That's the podcast. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to talk about them throughout the decades. We're going to go 80s to modern day, 10 episodes. That will be season 1. And then listen, this is an evergreen sort of, we could change it up for season 2. So definitely send us in some feedback. But yeah, and the best part about this entire thing, Stuart, the best part about this whole situation, you know what I'm going to say? Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Do you? You do.
No.
It's the social media handle. Because you know it's the social media handle. Because Stuart was like,
God,
are you
so
sure
silly.
that this is what we want to do? Because it's You Had Meat Pod. And I said, yes, I absolutely want to do You Had Meat Pod.
You Had Meat Pod.
It's so good. It's so stupid.
If it's commonly referred to as You Had Meat Pod, I don't know how I'll deal with it.
You Had Meat Pod.
It hurts.
It's perfect. It's lovely. It's incredible. So that's what will be coming up. We have an entire spreadsheet dedicated to possible films that we will be covering, but we're each going to get to pick one for each decade. Some we've seen, some we haven't seen. I've seen a lot of rom-coms, so we'll see. Maybe we'll pick something the other hasn't seen. It'll change up every week. So
yeah, and we don't know who's going to go first, do we? Because I think when we do the trailer for it, so an excuse for, even though we're telling you about it now, to go listen to the trailer, is on the trailer. We're going to roll some dice and we're going to determine who gets to pick first as well.
Yeah!
So that'll determine kind of which order we go in. Because I think correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to switch it back and forth each week and who gets to pick, but we're going to go decade by decade as we go up as well.
Right, starting with 80s. Because like we all know the 80s had incredible rom-coms. And like the 70s, it's like, is there a lot? Not really. Plus we thought 10 was like a nice number for how many episodes. So anyway. A little behind the scenes. That's what's going on. So also, if you have suggestions for like, I love this romantic comedy, you should cover this, definitely send that in. We'll take it into consideration. I already have some that I am like, this is the one. I will force you to watch it. Because it's my favorite. Anyway, that's what we have going on. That's what we're gonna be doing next. So apologies if you want us to watch Parks and Rec. Listen, it may happen. Okay. I'm not ruling anything out. Never rule anything out.
It's a big commitment. It's a big commitment. I have to build myself up. Like,
yes, Stuart already said he's not getting married. So Yeah.
So instead, I said you had me a pod.
You had meat pod. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. And it's going to start next week. So get pumped.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Exactly. Get excited. And
New
we
intro, new
hope that you all kind of,
background, everything.
yeah, entirely new. And yeah, we hope that like all of you listening now join us on this. I think for me, one of my favorite things about this whole podcast endeavor is our little like community that we've got of like people who kind of like
Yeah.
write in, send feedback. I love that people do listen. And like we said, like when we set out to do this, it was never like a big numbers game. It was just we want to just chat about a good show and have fun.
Mhm.
And I feel like we've done that, and we're going to continue just doing that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
that
forward
will
to that.
be next week. Make sure you listen to the trailer. That will be out next Wednesday, I think we're aiming for. So yeah, we'll talk to you all then. Until next time. We're gonna do the thing for the last time.
You're
we have to do it.
Jess.
I'm doing it, and I'm looking at the document so I can say the words
Wait,
correctly
can I
for the
delete
last
it?
time.
Can I
No,
delete it now?
don't. You're a monster, an absolute monster. Okay, for the last time, this podcast. Warmest regards.
And best wishes.
Tweet us on Facebook or leave us a review, and you say, yeah, okay, I think I will.